Most people, since they turned 18 and graduated high school, or since they turned 22, graduated college, have done two things that are difficult, and they've given up on both of them. You might be like that. Maybe you can think back to something where you're like, I'm going to give that a shot. That'd be hard, but that'd be really cool if that worked out. And I'm going to try it out. And you lasted a month, maybe 2 months. I mean, really, maybe even lasted 6 months, but there weren't really months where you're really trying that hard. Think about what that was. Think about what it could have meant for you. But it felt hard, right? It felt uncomfortable. It felt like this is just not what my body wants me to do. And that's because, of course, it's not what your body wants to do, because you've been giving your body cheap dopamine hits, cheap little good feeling hits on video games, on ice cream, on smoke of weed, on all kinds of shit that is just absolutely awful for you and will take over your dopamine system in a way that means anything you try that's going to be remotely difficult is going to be met with incredible resistance from your body, because your body is used to taking 5 seconds to light up the crack pipe and get high and feel amazing, or 20 seconds to turn on the Xbox and get Call of Duty going, and then you feel amazing. So then you're going to go and try something difficult and expect not to give up in 5 minutes, not to give up in 5 weeks. And it's because your system is completely wrapped around the wrong things. You have a reward system that is incredibly useful in your body, but it's been taken over by people who are paid $300,000 a year, $500,000 a year just to figure out how to addict you to things, just to figure out how to get your reward system working for them instead of yourself. So every time you sit on your phone, every time you sit on the couch, watch Netflix, watch whatever just bile they're pumping out on these streaming platforms, you're giving your attention, you're giving your reward system to other people instead of yourself. You probably have a multitude of ideas that could propel you toward the right direction by your own definition, right? Something that you have decided that's good for yourself that you just don't do, that you know you could do. I mean, honestly, if you sat right now, you gave yourself 10 seconds of silence where you're not staring at your phone, you're not watching this video, you pause it, 10 seconds, your brain is going to come up with something that, I know that I should have been doing this. I know that if I went on a walk every day, something as simple as that. If I went on a walk every day and didn't eat ice cream every day, I'd start to shed weight, let's say. I know that if I went to the gym, God, for 10 minutes, if I did one lift a day at the gym, I know that I would look better now. But one, you don't give yourself that 10 seconds, because the second that we're bored nowadays, you're going to pull out your phone, right? The second you're bored, you're going to flip on Netflix. I've seen people with Netflix on in the background, an iPad with the game on, which whatever sport game that people are giving a shit about for some reason nowadays, and the phone out at the same time. Like, they're scrolling TikTok, they've got the football game on, and they've got the TV on, and it's just not enough. And I don't understand why they don't understand that is now what your circuitry is wired around. You're just, once you realize this, I mean, I don't think anyone is inherently that lazy. It's that their systems have just been taken over by the wrong reward pathways, by the wrong rewards, really. Your reward right now is Netflix. Your reward is ice cream. Your body's reward is wrapped around the video games you play and leveling up on a video game. You can level up in real life instead, and those reward systems will change to reflect that. Those reward systems are highly plastic, highly malleable. If you can get them to work for you, it just becomes so easy. It really is. Like, the second that I gave away my Xbox, the second that I just didn't have any subscriptions, like, why do you have subscriptions? Why do you have subscriptions? You could do so many things. Nothing is good on those subscriptions. Nothing is actually like fun for you to watch. If you ever set up a camera and watch yourself watch Netflix, you're just off. Like, you're on standby mode, basically. Like, are you going to live hours of your life every single day, a double-digit percentage of your entire life just on standby? Nobody really wants that, but nobody really understands how to get out of that loop. And that's what we're talking about today, is getting out of that loop. And the way that I got out of that loop, honestly, easy. As soon as I figured this out, it was like it just clicked, and that was about a year ago. Since then, I've added 100 pounds to my bench press. I've shaved off 2.5 minutes on my mile run. I've written an entire album of electronic music that I'm super proud of, and it's coming out like this week, actually. Which is crazy exciting. Like, I've done enough pre-work for my music project that I have about 4 months worth of content and releases, and now it's just kind of on autopilot for a while. Just working on my performance, work on playing live, and just getting healthier overall. And it's been just easy as soon as I flipped the script around on my own reward systems, right? So what I did is I set up a week-long increment goal setting structure, because 1 week I found was the perfect amount of time to keep motivation just working for me the entire time. Keep my reward systems fueling my motivation so that I didn't need to like grit through everything and force everything. And there was never a chance of me giving up because it always felt good for me to do the things I knew I should do, right? So what I did, I set my first week of goals, I set it on Sunday. So I'll use one set, for example. A set of goals was my running goals. I'm running up this hill. I'm at like 7,000 feet right now in Colorado. So 1 mile at a 20% grade just kills me. It's really difficult, but it's a great workout. It's great for my lungs, great for my heart, great for my legs. So I decided that's going to be my goal. So on Sunday of week 0, let's say, I set my 1 week goal so that the following Sunday, I would shave 5 seconds off my time. I knew my time was about 9 minutes getting up that hill. I'm going to do it in 8 minutes, 55 seconds. Very easy. I know I can hit it, but that's the point for this first week. We start easy, start small, start in incremental steps. So after that first week on Sunday, not a lot of motivation because I just started this. I haven't gotten into this loop yet, right? But I just said, you just force yourself to get this first goal and you'll get this cycle started. I hit my first goal on Sunday. I hit 8 minutes, 55 seconds on my run. Felt great. Honestly, like one little goal, tiny thing like that, I was on top of the world. I felt like there's this kind of euphoric sobriety that comes from like sobriety, not really in the drug alcohol sense, but sobriety and like the clear-headed, it's just you. It's just like your spirit right there, right? It's just you and yourself, no distractions, heart is racing. You've just done something that you decided is good for you, that no one forced you to do. You just did it on your own. That is like this spiritual sobriety that is just euphoric. Feels amazing. The point of this goal setting structure is to use that first goal, which is going to give you that feeling, right? You hit that goal, you got this kind of euphoria, you got this motivation that says, that felt amazing, I should do that again. You're going to use that from that first Sunday through to like Wednesday or Thursday is usually when I kind of start to forget about it. Like I get a solid few days of motivation out of it where every day I'm continuing to do that run. And I remember how good it felt to set my own goal and hit that goal. So that is then fueling me through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By the time I'm getting around Thursday, it's sort of started to wear off. It's not going to be forever, right? One little goal isn't going to fuel you for your entire life. One little achievement. But it sort of gets behind us and it pushes us halfway through the week. When you get to that halfway through that week, your next goal you've set for the following Sunday is now starting to pull you along for the rest of that week, right? So you have two sides of this motivation that are so useful. They create this cycle that means that you never really feel like you're working because you want to do it, right? That's what we all want. We all want to be super disciplined. We all want to just do whatever we want, whatever we think is good for us, and just rely on discipline, grit through it. But it is 1,000,000 times better and 1,000,000 times more likely that you don't quit if you also want to do it, right? If you're just falling back on discipline every single time, good for you if you can handle it. Good for you if you're not going to quit. Most people are going to quit, or they're at least going to slack, if they're just have no motivation behind it. We want to enjoy what we're doing, enjoy our goals, and also grit through them and get to the finish line. So when I got to Thursday, the next goal is pulling me, right? I realized, okay, I'm running. I've been shaving a few seconds off each day, but my next goal was 10 seconds off and I haven't hit that yet. So I'm looking forward to that next Sunday when I get to perform and I get to really show up and try for something that I care about. And it kind of gets your heart like going. On Friday, if I haven't ran in 8 minutes, 45 seconds yet, and I know that that's my goal for Sunday, it just kind of gets your heart pumping in the best way. You realize like, I'm going to feel pretty shitty that's a pretty easy goal. It's only 10 seconds off. I should be able to do that. If I can't, that sucks, But if I do, the opposite is true. I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel like how I did the week before. And that's, again, you're going back to your motivation that came from your first goal. I've used this system for about a year straight in music, in running, in lifting, in what, like writing, journaling every single day, in calling people who I care about. Like it's just, you can use it for anything, and quitting video games, quitting any other addiction that, just like micro addictions that I knew were just bad for me, getting my diet back on track. It's like week 1, eat a vegetable for God's sakes. Week 2, eat 20 grams less of carbs, or let's say 2 slices less of bread if you don't even feel like counting that kind of thing. You know, it's like these incremental improvements, and you say, wow, I ate a lot less carbs and I feel better. Wow. It's maybe there's something there. Like I ate meat and vegetables and now I feel amazing. But that first week's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen the first day. Like you eat a bag of peas and now you're like Superman. That's not how it works. You're going to look back to 3 months from now. Like let's say right now, 3 months from now is going to look back to you right now and realize like, wow, I felt like shit. I was lethargic. I couldn't think. I had brain fog. I was lazy. I was going to the gym a little bit, but I didn't really actually work that hard when I got there. And then when I got home, I just ate like shit. So I counteracted everything I did anyway. If you get on this incremental improvement program, something like this, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, you can look back on yourself right now who's watching the video and realize that you are nothing compared to what you could be. You're nothing compared to the person you are when you're incrementally improving various aspects of your life. How good you can feel, how clear-minded you can be. That's never going to happen in a few days. It's never going to happen in 2 weeks. It can start to happen in 3 or 4 weeks. It will absolutely happen in 10 weeks. I'm at like 60 weeks now. My life I feel like a different person. Honestly, I feel completely a different person. Before I was playing way too much video games. I would go to the gym a little bit, but then I would use that just as an excuse to like, now I can have a bunch of buttered toast and ice cream or something, whatever I wanted at that day, like a bunch of chocolate. And I didn't have this holistic view of where was I headed? What did I give a shit about? Why did I not want to do anything that was hard? And it was because, again, going back to the beginning of the video, my reward pathways were not centered around things that actually mattered. And I had no goal setting structure to get me to the things that actually mattered. Get out there, try something like this. Right when this video is done in a few seconds, take 10 seconds, pause, don't let it autoplay, don't let YouTube just spew out the next bile for you. Pause it, take a second, think, what is the one dimension that could improve me the most? Are you crazy overweight? Obviously it's diet. Are you kind of like skinny fat, a little bit overweight, not strong at all? It's getting in the gym, right? It's getting in the gym and probably a little bit of diet as well. Do you have some idea or some business you've always wanted to start or some kind of career shift you've wanted to make that you thought about over the last years? Probably. I mean, if you're in your mid-20s, probably years. If you're 18 to 22, probably like a few months, you've had these ideas you've wanted to try out. Get out there, use this week-long goal setting structure to start something like that. Your first week, say, okay, this week, I'm going to put in 1 hour, 30 minutes for God's sakes, 30 minutes of work on something I care about, on writing some copy if you want to, or like making a YouTube video, or like 30 minutes on writing a song. 30 minutes is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Right now, I'm putting in maybe 5 hours a day, honestly, like on music, and I started at 20 minutes a day, just kind of fooling around. Got up to just where I don't even feel, it feels like that's just part of my day now. Start something. Take a second, figure out what you give a shit about, what you've been wanting to do. Set a tiny goal for this week. Set a slightly larger goal for the next week. And I swear if you keep doing that, by week 5, by week 10, by week 15, you will be a completely different person. And you will be on this path that unlocks unlimited motivation for you for as long as you want it to happen. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.